Welcome to Business Ethics Online. My name is Craig. I'm going to be your instructor for the next 15 weeks as we navigate this thing called business ethics. Some people look at it as being a bit of a dichotomy. Do business and ethics go together? Depends on who you talk to. In my opinion, I believe that they do, but I've talked with people in business in both small and large corporations throughout our state who can and at times do differ with me. So as a result, we'll have a little bit of fun in this class as we look at this delicate subject and the bridging of the gap between the two. Let's go over a couple of things just so that you are aware of what's going to happen in this class. This is an online class. It's fully online. And so as a result of that, it will take a little bit more time. It will take a little bit more work. So keep that in mind as we start the semester. I will show you in a few moments where everything is. You'll find everything that's due on every date and everything that goes along with it. So this is the opening page. When you logged into your thing, you're going to see this. You're going to read down here, and instead of saying, please watch the following screencast, there's also going to be the screencast that I am now recording, which will be in this spot right here. So look at this information. It's important information. It talks about the last day that you can attend. If you don't attend by this date, you haven't done anything that's graded by this date, you'll be dropped from the class automatically and you will not be allowed back in. This is information that's important, so just kind of keep that in mind, and we'll kind of go from there. So what I want to do is I want to look at some things regarding the class. There's very important information on this page. The first one's going to be the course material. When we click on the course material, we're going to go to content, and in content you're going to find everything that you need to do this class. So here's a getting started thing. There's some stuff to read. Here's your syllabus. This is a link. If you click this link, it's going to take you directly to a web page, and that web page is where you can buy your textbook. The textbook is the one I recommend is downloadable, because that way you can download certain things as well as have online access rather than only online access. You can do it however you'd like to. This is one I recommend, and so you might want to keep that in mind. But you can get it there, and so I encourage you to do that. If we go back to the table of contents, like I say, your course schedule. Here's a detailed list of all the assignments that will be due this semester and when they're due, your online guidelines for reading discussions or for online discussions, your reading guidelines, your current issues paper that you're going to be doing. If you don't know how to do APA citations, or you're not sure about how to do them, this is just a 12-minute video that I created that kind of shows you how to do it if you're using Word as a source for creating all of your documents for this course. Here's some philosophy web sources that are important, some certain criteria not in non-attendance, but if you don't attend, you won't be reading that anyway. So let's get looking at what's going on here. So this is a getting started section. Very, very important to do. I encourage you to open up this graded assignments checklist and print it out and keep track. So when you've done if you completed it, boom, mark it, let's move on, right? If this isn't marked, then you need to go back and do it. I know everything says I won't accept late work. I will accept late work, but you're going to get docked for it. So keep that in mind. I grade 100% on points. So if there's 1,000 points in the class and you have 900 points, you get a 90%. That's just the way that it is. My classes are set up for you to pass and not to fail. If you fail, you have to work at it. Or not work at it, however you want to look at that. But you can kind of get that figured out. So every week we're going to have a topic. So if we click on week one is going to pull it up here, and we've got this thing, what is business ethics? And I got a few things I write here, and I have comments. There's a reading assignment. Here's your discussion threads. The nice thing about this is I've set it up that if you click on that link right there, it's going to take you to, guess where? Your discussion thread. And if you open up this discussion thread, you're going to find out that I've already posted this discussion thread. It tells you everything about me and my family and all kinds of stuff. And there's my son, my daughter-in-law, my grandson, CJ, who is 9. His name is Craig, but he goes by CJ. My granddaughter, who's 4, I guess 4.5. Her name is McKenna. and my granddaughter, who is now about, I'm going to say 20 months. Her name is Taylor, and she's a fireball. So anyway, that's the discussions. It takes you right back to it. I'm going to go back here to our week one. And so everything that you need is set in here. If you click on this link, it's going to take you to the other discussion thread that we're going to talk about. And then that's it for this week. There's no reading journal, but you do have a reading assignment. The discussion's based off the reading assignment. If we go to week 2, you're going to see how it changes a little bit. And here you have a reading assignment. Obviously, you start, and then we go down here. We have our 2 things. We have a quiz. We'll talk about those in a second. And then week 3, it goes that way. So everything you need for the entire semester, all of the links are all set up. All you have to do is click on the link, and it takes you there. In week 3, there is a short writing assignment that's due. And so let me get you to week 3. Week 3, where are you? Okay, so I guess I was there. And if you click on this short writing assignment, it's going to take you to the short writing assignment. Okay, so keep that in mind. And so that's the way that it's going to work. If you do this, it makes it fast, it makes it easy, it makes it simple. I do want to show you, let's see, I'm trying to remember what week it's due in. I have a scheduling here somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but oh, right here. Let me take you down to week 6. And in week 6, we have another short writing assignment. And this short writing assignment actually has a couple links. It has to do with minimum wage. So you can click on this. It's going to actually take you to the copy of the article that is being referred to for this assignment. Okay, and if you go to this one, it'll do the same thing. So everything that you need to done can be done on this page, and everything will be found in the weekly thing. The second thing that you're going to notice is that in the weekly topics, if other than week 1, but in week 2 and going on, in week 1 I did a different one just because I wanted to, because I like this picture. But the picture here will line up with the week in the course material contents. So keep that in mind. Let's look at the activities. First of all, there's the assignments. Mine looks a little bit different than yours, only because I'm in the professor's mode and you're in the student mode. But here's your Dropbox. It tells you when it's due, tells you what time it's due. Assignments can only be submitted to Dropbox. Do not email me an assignment, and do not send me a PDF. Okay, the only thing I will accept in PDF is the reading journal. Anything that I'm going to grade outside, where I'm going to put comments on and send it back to you, will either be in DocX, or ODT format only. I will not accept any other format. If you send it to me in another format, I deduct 10%, and I send it back and say, return it to me and I'll grade it again, but you're going to lose 10%. So kind of keep that in mind, because it just makes it more difficult. So this is your reading journals when they're due. Here's your 5 short writing assignments when they're due. And here's your current issues paper when it's due. So kind of keep that in mind for your assignments. Let's go to our discussions. Our discussions are pretty simple. This one here tells you that it's going to be assessed. This one tells you it's going to be assessed. This is our biographies. Everybody has to do it. And so what you're going to see is that I've already done it, but if you go into it, like say I was in it just a minute ago, I showed it to you. So you're going to go into it, and then if you wanted to, you could open up the discussion, and then the discussion goes through this, and then you can reply to the thread and say, oh, what a great looking family, or I'm going to hang that in my garage and scare all the mice away. Either one wouldn't hurt my feelings. It doesn't bother me. I'm a pretty tough guy, so I can handle that stuff. But every week you're going to have, in most weeks, you'll have two discussion threads, and we'll talk about those in just a second and what that entails. The last thing you're going to have is quizzes, and mine shows completely different than yours, so I'm not even going to go there. But the quizzes, if you click on that, it'll take you to the quiz, or you can go to the quiz from the course materials page that I just showed you, and you can find the information you need. What I do want to do is I want to go back here and I want to look at some things very, very specifically and quickly so that we get this done in a very, very short and formatted manner. When you go to the Getting Started section, you're going to find guidelines for the reading journals for the current issues paper. You're going to find a course schedule, which is very, very detailed in this course schedule. Let me show you that first. My computer's running a little bit slow today. I apologize for that. But if it ever gets there. In the course schedule, it actually is going to show you some very good detail about what's due, when it's due. So today, first week, all the discussions are due by Thursday, the 21st, your first initial post. And then it's closing at 6 o'clock on Saturday. Okay, keep that in mind. No discussions are open on the weekend in my course. Starting in week 2 and going through week 15, your initial post has to be put in by Wednesday. The discussion thread closes at 6 o'clock on Friday. I don't work the weekends. Okay, so that's just to let you know. I have a ranch. I have a full-time job. I teach classes, and I spend time with my family, my grandkids, who all live on the same property as we do. So keep that in mind. Okay. The other thing I want you to look at in this getting started is the online discussions. And I want to spend a little bit of time there because this is the biggest area where I think most of my students get frustrated or get lost, whatever it might be. So I'm going to look at it carefully. Notice that each week's discussion will run from Monday morning at 12:01 a.m. and will close at 6 p.m. on Friday, except for week 1. That's this week. And this week we're going to close on Saturday at 6 because we're starting a day late because of Martin Luther King Day, excuse me. All right, so discussion threads will not be open on the weekend. Okay, you must post on at least 3 different days. So keep that in mind. If you're going to post your initial thread by Wednesday, you better post on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, a minimum of 4 postings is required. Your initial response, which is due on Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. And then you have to respond to at least 3 different in 3 different discussion threads with classmates. Okay, so a total of 4 posts. That is each discussion thread, and they are graded separately. So each week you'll have a total of 8 threads that will need to be posted. 4 in each class. That's minimum. You can post 12, 15. I have students that post 15, 16 threads every week. If you want to, that's great. However, keep in mind that, oh, I loved your answer, or I agree with you completely. Nice work. Those are not counted as threads because they have no content whatsoever. Now, you can put as many of those in as you want, but you better give me 4 threads with content. Content means it's something that brings value to the discussion, okay, pertaining to the content. So give me some meat. I'm looking for some meat. I'm looking for critical thinking. Those are very, very important. Okay, so every post you get is worth 4 points. So if you give me 4 points, 4 posts, you get 16 points. And if you read 81 or higher percentage of all of the threads that are posted, you get 4 points. If you don't want to read them, you're not going to get as many points. Okay, you can take it or leave it. It doesn't matter to me. People say that's not fair. Well, I've been on both ends of the online discussion, and when you post everything on the last day and the last hour, you haven't had a discussion. You just put in some information and you learned absolutely nothing. This way, you're going to get information from your classmates. You can have dialogue with them. You can disagree with them. But we do it in a very professional manner. And that's very, very important to me. So I want to spend the last minute talking about ethics in our class. The ethic in the class is, I may not agree with you, but I will respect you as a person. I will respect you as an intellectual. Okay? I know some very intellectual people that aren't very smart. I know some people who have no education and are brilliant. Okay, so keep in mind that I am not the only one who can teach here. I expect everyone to teach. So that's very, very important for you to understand. And so as a result of that, I want you to realize that there is a place for you to be the teacher, and you'll have your opportunity to do that in most every week of this class. Okay, so when we get into, let's just pull up week 8 for fun. When we get into week, there is a You Be the Prof, and this will find in almost every week. There'll be one of these. This is where you become the person. You put in the discussion question, and you create the discussion. I need a question here. I need something that I can answer. Don't just post your reading journal. I don't want it here. That's what your reading journal Dropbox is for. But give me something. Give the class something to discuss. And we can start a discussion here, so that makes every one of you a professor. Every one of you is going to bring something to this class. I'm looking forward to a great class. I'm looking forward to a great semester. I'll see you in class. Welcome.